What's up, Cowboy Nation? It's your boy Roadstar Sports coming to you uh, live. Subscribe to the channel, like the content. Really appreciate you. And yeah, let's get to it. All right, so um, the Dallas Cowboys have made some more firings on defense. It looks like they're doing a complete overhaul on the defense as it relates to defensive coaches. Of course, we already know Matt Eberflus is gone. Changes have been made uh, in terms of Andre Curtis, the defensive passing game. David Overstreet II, of course, that's secondary and cornerbacks, and then also David Baganzi, a linebacker coach. All are gone for the Dallas Cowboys, and here's what it tells me or tells us that the Dallas Cowboys is going to allow Christian Parker to make his own coaching staff coming into the 2026 season, which let me say is pretty much a step ahead of the game, while other teams are trying to figure out and get acclimated in terms of what their offensive perspectively, defensive perspectively is going to be. The Dallas Cowboys is ahead of the game. Now, I will say this: I'm not sure, not certain in terms of what caliber of defense, what nuance to the defense that Christian Parker is going to bring dynamically different than what he showed with the Philadelphia Eagles. I do hope that he would bring some significant change that is not identifiable since he was with Philly during his tenure there. But, you have to understand that in a division where you know each other well, you have to understand that defenses, when they go to a divisional rivalry, there's going to be some familiarity there. Now, one thing I will say in terms of being able to handle that and overcoming that, the Dallas Cowboys does do a good job as relates to if they lost like a Callahan to the Washington Redskins. The Cowboys still did significantly well against them in terms of losing a Dan Quinn to the Washington Redskins. Cowboys still do significantly well. In terms of the Dallas Cowboys losing Kellen Moore to Philadelphia Eagles, statistically speaking, the Dallas Cowboys did do predominantly well. So, taking a look at that in that aspect, let's just hope that the Cowboys can continue to do well, even though there's an exchange from one division rivalry to the next. Now, the Dallas Cowboys did block Philly from interviewing our OC currently, and I suspect that Jerry Jones is going to ante up on him to keep him around since he did such a very good job, number 2 offense in the league during our 2025 year. So as we move in the line scheme of things, the Dallas Cowboys are looking like they're trying to position themselves comfortably to begin to place the rosters together on defense. That Shotty Too Hotty, I didn't say I was going to call him Shotty Too Hotty no more, but now I'm going to do it. I've been doing it for the longest. That Shotty Too Hotty and Christian Parker can work together. Now, I will say that this is still a experiment that hopefully will bode well in terms of Jerry Jones and the outcome of the Dallas Cowboys 2026 season being a success. We hope, but there's still some things that needs to be done. The fat lady ain't sung yet. There are still some pieces that the Cowboys need to add on defense. 1, a defensive end. 2, a linebacker. 3, cornerbacks, and dare I say a safety. Although we can build around Overshown Bart, any injury or any issues that could be or that could exist. We all know what the Dallas Cowboys probably going to do with Donovan Wilson couple of other role players. It's good to have role players, but they are not starters. Um, um, uh, Let me shift gears right quick, because the Dallas Cowboys will need to go to look to the draft to get some studs. I preferably would like for the Dallas Cowboys to go after a Patrick Surtain kind of cornerback with length, height, and a little bit of speed, ball hawk, smart, very, very smart cornerback, and that can sniff out the receivers and get us some takeaways, and not some of these gimmick takeaways. I mean, really somebody who is really, really good and meticulously in his prospective position as a cornerback. Now here's one of the dilemmas. Well, we have two. Well, maybe, potentially two. The potential two, I'll go there. I've already spoke about it. There's the Philadelphia Eagles and being familiar with Christian Parker and his tendencies and his habits. And this is what the teams look for, especially when they have some familiarity with the opposing defensive coordinator that once was in his tenure with them. That's one. Number two, the biggest one out of all of them is the Dallas Cowboys sucked against their games against John Harbaugh and the Ravens. And here we are. We're going to have to play them twice a year in terms of John Harbaugh and the New York Giants. The Dallas Cowboys against John Harbaugh is only 1-4. Washington and Philly are 2-3. The Giants is the only ones that split with John Harbaugh in his in their head-to-head matches, in their meetings, being 3-3 with the Giants and the Ravens. So John Harbaugh has the Cowboys number, and we need that to change ASAP. We need that to change immediately, and it's going to help that we play them twice to really know what he's doing on a continuous basis. But hey, look here, man. The Cowboys are going to have to be on their game. They're going to have to be ready to rock and roll against the John Harbaugh. We know John Harbaugh is going to have his team ready, and I got much respect for Dart and the running back that they have. I can't think of his name, but he's very, very good. He got hurt this year, but those two are really, really good players. Dart surprised me. I mean, I was upset actually when Dart took over Russell Wilson. A little upset about that in terms of how that took place, but nonetheless, Dart is ready. Dart ready to rock and roll. But we'll see how this is going to turn out. I want to come back on a little later and talk about the draft, some of the draft prospects that I think the Dallas Cowboys need to go after on defense to make that defense potent, as it relates to defensive end, linebacker, and that secondary, which was atrocious the last season. Atrocious last season. Horrible last season. And we're going to see which direction the Dallas Cowboys are leaning in. Of course, they're not going to show their hand too soon, but we still want to get some ideas in terms of what's out there that will help this defense to thrive and flourish moving into the 2026 season. Listen, this is your boy Roadstar Sports coming to you with the juicy on juice information. The Dallas Cowboys did an overhaul on defense coordinator, defensive assistants. And it looks like Christian Parker is going to bring in some boys to get this defense ready to rock and roll. So that being said, Cowboy Nation, the jury is still out, but there may be some hope in this Christian Parker guy because he's made some changes already. And I'm sure Jerry Jones has given him the green light to do this. Yeah. Roadstar Sports. Subscribe to the channel. Like the content. Greatly appreciated. How about them Cowboys? Peace. Yeah.